I'm holding.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We got that shit on recording, baby. Okay, let's rock and roll. I gotta
Alright.
turn noise.
Rock
suppression
and roll!
on. I can't live without it.
Let's clap on 50.
50? Okay. That works for me.
Wow, I have to wait so long.
I have so much time.
I know.
Well,
Think
now
about
you only
something-
have 5 seconds, though, so you better get ready. It's coming.
Ah.
55.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm done.
All right.
I think we did it. We're great.
All right. Then we'll get in here and do it.
Sorry.
Like the little
I can't
lion.
start if you're singing.
No, I like it though.
Yeah, just do the whole 20th Century Fox
The
intro.
entire thing. Ba, 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 ba.
Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotes Ben and Friends where we read and watch the inspirations behind Ace Attorney. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy
Hello.
and 2 good friends of ours, Tiago
Yo.
and Rose.
Hi.
We're all longtime fans of Ace Attorney. We hope that through our perspectives, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for all the media we discuss. Our intro music is by Lace, and you can find all her other work at leiss.bandcamp.com. Today, we're continuing our No Effort November, but now it's December plans with a discussion of a movie that is not an inspiration behind Ace Attorney, but is instead something inspired by all the things that we have been discussing so far. And that is Rian Johnson's third Benoit Blanc mystery film, Wake Up Dead Man, starring Daniel Craig and Josh O'Connor. This is the third of the Netflix Knives Out mysteries films, which I'm not going to actually call them at any point other than just now in this podcast because that's silly.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix thinks that we're all dumb, and then we can't just understand that these are all Benoit Blanc mysteries because Benoit Blanc's the lead detective in all of them. And they thought they had to put a subtitle on them and call them Knives Out Mysteries instead.
I mean, listen, I like a subtitle, but not like that.
Yeah, the first one was called Knives Out. The second one was called Glass Onion. And this one's called Wake Up Dead Man.
It's actually-
simple. They're like Agatha Christie mysteries. They all have their own title, and that's it. The Agatha Christie, mysteries do not have underneath them a subtitle that's an Orient Express adventure or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
So
It occurs to me that we're doing an episode on the third one in the series. We're not going back to 1 and 2, so I guess we just fucking assumed that you watched the first 2.
I mean, listen,
well,
if you like a murder mysteries, I just sort of assume that you've seen them. Sorry. Maybe that was
And good
presumptuous.
Hey, good news. These are, again, much like Agatha Christie mysteries.
Standalone.
They're standalone. You can watch them in any order. It's
Yay!
really fine.
That's
Now,
true.
yes, I highly recommend you go watch the other 2. I think they're pretty good times.
Watch him
all said.
backwards. Watch Daniel Craig get younger.
Exactly.
Mm.
He can
But,
look however he wants.
Yeah, it is. This was kind of like a timeliness thing where this episode would come out right around when this will be coming out just a couple of days after it comes out on Netflix.
Really?
So yeah, so you if you haven't watched it already, go. It's available. And also, like, you know, it's in our wheelhouse of murder mysteries. And listen, you know, it's the holidays. We're taking it easy. We were all going to see this movie anyway.
True.
So why not just talk about it?
This is true. We actually, all of us saw it on the same night, but in obviously different states and different theaters,
Yes.
as it just so happened.
Invest in your local theater. Go watch something weird. Go watch a fucked up movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's art, baby.
It's art,
Yeah,
baby.
I like the theater experience. I wish this movie came out in more theaters. It was kind of, because Netflix hates AMC, this movie did not come out into any AMC theaters at all, as to my knowledge anyway, in the entire country, which means that severely limited its reach.
The theater
So,
desert.
Weird.
It's like
So
a food
yes,
desert,
if you were
but worse.
exactly, so if you were in a zone, you know, there's a non-zero chance, right, that you could not see this film in theaters, which sucks, right?
Mhm.
So I like a big screen. Everybody here has.
Sorry,
Yeah, sorry.
sorry.
Like that one.
You said the word "the big screen" and my brain just like Pavloved up like a dog. Like, oh,
Look it up. Yep.
yeah.
So everybody here has seen the other Benoit Blanc mysteries. Is everybody here, like, I guess just for like brief setup here, everybody's pretty cool on them. Everybody else here likes them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like the first one more than I like the second one, but I also feel like that is the statement of society.
I think in general, I mean, that's also how I feel, right? I like Knives Out quite a bit. Glass Onion, I have some issues with. My man, unfortunately, got a little too internet brained. He was on Twitter a little too much during the pandemic,
Mhm.
and that
Happened to
infected
a
the
lot of
movie, I
people,
think.
yeah.
You know, it's not like a bad film, I don't think, but it does limit it, I think, and
Kind of hard
kind
to
of
follow up
hinder
Glass
it from.
Onion. Not Glass Onion. Kind of hard to follow up Knives Out. Like, if I'm honest, like, get the stinker out of the way early.
This is true.
You think that's what it was? He just like, oh, by the way, I got a stinker in the cannon. What should I do? And someone else was like, fire.
I think he was like, I got Janelle Monáe, and I don't know. I've got to come up with something that I can do with them.
I just want to hang out with Janelle Monáe. Good point. Fair enough.
Yeah. Totally fair. Extremely reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is true. So Ryan Johnson, as a filmmaker, I have been on the record as being a big fan of his work. I really, really liked Brick, which
Oh, God,
I
that
guess I
movie
still
rocks.
do
Yeah.
like Brick, but
That might
I mean,
be one
Brick,
of my favorite Ryan Johnson movies, actually.
That is one of my favorite Ryan Johnson
so
movies.
fucking good.
Yeah.
And if you have not seen it, again, just go see it. It is a film noir, but set exclusively in a high school.
Like an LA
with
high school.
schoolers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is, what if all the trappings and genre, you know, expectations of a film noir was draped over these idiot teenagers, right? who are trying to go through the motions. You have the femme fatale, you have the mob boss, you have the mopey detective who's trying to solve the case, but they're teenagers. So it's very fun. Obviously, then nothing happened in between his next film Looper and then doing Knives Out. There's just nothing there's just a huge gap of time there where he definitely didn't do
anything.
A huge big budget movie and didn't create an entire like cottage industry of people like just discussing whether the film's good or not for hours and hours and hours online.
Is this a bit?
Tune in for another
Thread was
podcast
closed.
that Ben and I aren't allowed to have some other time.
Yep.
Oh,
So-
I got it. Understood. I'm back at it now.
I've already been on record on that film as well about my feelings on it, and we're not
Thread
here
was
to
closed.
do
Thread
that.
was
We're not here to do that.
If we're any more
Yes.
vague about it,
Yes.
we're gonna have like a
So-
call out post being like, "What do they mean? Like, what? Who
I can't
is
believe
this?
that they were talking about something without specifically explaining the joke.
It's crazy."
But yes, after doing Last Jedi, he just kind of like was like, okay, I need a reset, right? And did something smaller, did a small picture, Knives Out. And what do you know? Actually, it kind of blew up, and people were like, actually, we love murder mysteries. We love comfy, like, not even, I mean, it is pretty, I would say it's a fairly comfy movie, but like that kind of like, just like, you know, the structures that are in place for how a murder mystery functions. It's part of the reasons why we love murder mysteries. And so there were not a lot of those really happening at that time. And so Knives Out was kind of bringing that back. And people were hungry for it. And then Netflix decided to shell out literally the largest check they've ever written, as far as I'm aware, to any one person for 2 more Knives Out films, as they called them. And that was Glass Onion, and now Wake Up Dead Man. Wake Up Dead Man is definitely, if Knives Out is like your very traditional rich backstabbing family murder mystery, and Glass Onion's like your sunny vacation murder mystery, we go back to gothic, you know, religious murder mystery trappings. We even get our Father Brown reference in this movie.
Yeah, I did notice that. I was like, oh, getting some good. Father Brown's here.
It's got a little bit of that small town murder mystery too. The thing that's very popular in a lot of like British mysteries is like everyone in the town
knows
is
each other,
or knows each other, knows something, and which one of them has done it. You know, so it's got that as well.
Something that I find really funny about this as well, specifically what you bringing that up, Rose, is that the interior of this church was a constructed set, right? So they built this so they could film inside it. The outside of the church was an actual church, and that was the Church of Holy Innocents in Essex, England.
So it's not in upstate New York.
So it's not even in upstate New York. Some of the aerial and town footage was apparently shot in Cold Spring, New York. But yes, the actual church itself, they shot it in England, just like a handful of hours outside of London. So it is a real amalgamation to get that vibe, even though in the script of the movie it's set in New York, right? But they're going for that kind of very English Catholic, vibe here.
That kind of explains the interior of the other building in the church, or like where they have what's the word I'm looking for? The paperwork,
like the offices.
Yes, the managerial stuff of the church.
Right.
Along with the where the groundsman lived.
Yeah. Well, any other thoughts before I get into the summary?
Nah, hit that summary so we can talk about.
All right.
I like the cast.
Yeah.
Cast good.
Cast good. I mean, that's kind of, here's the thing. All criticisms of Glass Onion aside, great cast.
Great cast.
Every single one of these movies has a great cast. So can't ever criticize them for that. Casting director knocking it out of the park here.
Thank God.
So yeah, we meet the Reverend Judd Duplessis, who, after punching another priest, is assigned to Our Lady of Perpetual Fortitude in upstate New York, where the controlling and manipulative Monsignor Jefferson Wicks rules his congregation with an iron fist. There, Judd meets many dedicated members of the church and learns the dark history behind it. Wicks's grandfather had a grand fortune and told his daughter Grace, the harlot whore, that she'd inherit it, but only if she stayed there with him at the church along with her son, Wicks, whom she'd had, quote, out of wedlock. However, when he died, the money was nowhere to be seen, and Grace tears the church apart in a rage, eventually dying when throwing herself against the church's tomb. Judd and Wicks butt heads over Wicks's manipulative and cruel leadership, which eventually comes to a head on Good Friday when Wicks collapses dead in a storage closet next to the pulpit, a knife found stabbed in his back. Judd is seemingly the only one who could have done it, yet everyone saw him on stage at the time. Benoit Blanc arrives and promises to help Judd out enticed by this impossible, kind of a locked room mystery. Our other list of possible suspects are Martha, the church's secretary in function but not formality, Dr. Nat, the town's alcoholic fail doctor, Vera, the local attorney who took in right-wing fail politician Cy as her adopted brother, Simone, a disabled cellist who is desperate for healing, Samson, the church groundskeeper, and Lee, a former best-selling author now falling into conspiracy theories. Unfortunately, Blanc and Judd are stumped by the clues they find, making the case indeed seem impossible. They get no closer to finding the missing fortune, which looms over all of this as a possible motive. Now we're getting into spoiler territory, so get ready, folks.
Should we do a pause here to
if you haven't seen it, pause this podcast and go watch it.
Yeah, listen, we're going to be talking about all this, and here's the thing, we got to talk about what's revealed to talk about some of the stuff at the start. So I think it just makes more sense to cover it all.
Yeah,
quick.
please continue, Ben. Thank you.
Understood.
Eventually, it's revealed by Vera that she's learned that Cy is not her illegitimate brother, but instead Wix's illegitimate son. Cy discloses to Judd and Blanc that he convinced Wix to reveal damaging personal secrets about the congregation to have a clean slate for a theoretical future elsewhere in church or politics. Now, anyone could have had the motive to kill Wix. Later that evening, however, Wix seemingly rises from his grave, emerging from the tomb and walking away. Judd chases after the figure but is knocked out and wakes up with his hand on a scythe embedded in Samson's chest. Assuming that he really did do this, Judd tries to turn himself in, but Blanc convinces him not to. Instead, he and Judd rush to Dr. Nat's house based on Blanc's theory. There they find Dr. Nat's body dissolved in acid, along with what remains of Wix's body. The next morning, the congregation and police gather for Judd's confession, but Blanc interrupts again and finally explains how things really went down. Dr. Nat spikes Wix's flask with a tranquilizer, knocking him out. A dummy hilt of the knife was placed on Wix's coat earlier with a squib of blood, convincing Judd that the Monsignor had been stabbed. But when Dr. Nat came over to inspect the body, he swapped the dummy knife with a real one, stabbing and killing the priest. However, as he's about to reveal the rest, Blanc notices something, pauses, and then says he cannot solve the rest of the case. The congregation leaves dissatisfied, and Cy heads out to post his epic ownage video online showing Blanc's failure. Blanc says to Judd that he wishes to offer some grace to the guilty, and moments later, Martha re-enters and begins to confess the crime. She was the one who convinced Dr. Nat to kill Wix and steal the fortune, a single incredibly valuable gem. Although Martha wished for no one to ever get it. She placed the squib on the robes, she had Samson build a fake casket and the Wix costume that he would emerge from the tomb wearing. However, she didn't anticipate Dr. Nat being the one to kill Samson and then frame Judd for it, all in the hopes of taking the gem. She killed Dr. Nat in revenge for Samson, using poison that he meant for her. And after confessing all this, she collapses, having taken some of the same poison. There, Judd takes her confession, and she asks for forgiveness from everyone she's hurt. The gem tumbles from her hand as she passes, and Blanc pretends he didn't see it, leaving Judd to decide what to do with it. Now, a year later, with Cy still angrily demanding to know where the fortune went, Judd is preparing to reopen the church, now named Our Lady of Perpetual Grace. There, as he opens for their first service, the camera pans up to the new crucifix he constructed, and we see a small glint of light reflecting off of the gem inside of it. But yeah, it is, I'd say, one of the more elaborate murders that has happened so far.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In this trilogy, it's definitely the most elaborate one, and has the most moving pieces going on. However, I will say, first blush here, this is one that really, overall, I think this movie really resonated and hit for me, and I think Johnson finally taking the time to do like a more serious one, I think it really paid off in his favor here.
Yeah, I like Glass Onion, so it's hard. I gotta bring this up because like I feel like I went so low with Glass Onion, and then this one just went right back up there. Be like, yeah, this is sincere, this is important, this is good. I like it. I felt like this one has the sincerity that Glass Onion was lacking, and I think that Knives Out also was the sincerity, both between like the message of the mystery and also like the relationship between all the characters, such as the caretaker in the first one and the relationship the priest has with all the other characters.
Right.
It's pretty dope. I think I only have like a couple of complaints when it comes to this film, mostly because I don't know, I just have complaints. I'm a complaining guy. That's what I do. I complain.
I mean, we're here for critique as well as compliments.
I thought the gem being inside the crucifix with the shine was a little too on the nose.
It is a little cute.
I really do think he sent the message like your inheritance is within Christ, and then we see a literal wood statue of Christ on the cross, and it's like, brother, we could have just understood the message. It's fine. We don't need to see what's inside the box in 7 to know that it is the husband's wife's head. we know what's in there.
Right. Whose head?
Oh yeah, you've never seen 7, huh?
You just like said like a confusing like collection of nouns there, and I genuinely wasn't sure whose head was in there.
Have you seen 7?
No.
Okay, so I'm not going to tell you whose head was in there.
Okay, well, that's probably for the best, everybody.
You'll have to listen back to the recording. And then parse it, I guess. I don't know.
I heard it. I just don't know what the fuck you meant.
Yeah. You'll get another try.
And now we'll have to put it on the movie list for like a year from now.
7? No, listen, we all like watching movies. We watch movies weekly, but I also don't think 7 is necessarily a crowd pleaser.
I heard it here first, listeners.
I love horror movies, just so we're totally clear. It's just that I understand that like it's not everyone's vibe, so I don't bring it up to people whose vibe is not. That's not the point. We're talking about fucking Wake Up Dead Man, all right? I liked most of the casting in this film. I thought, was it Andrew Scott? Who's the British guy? I forget his name. The writer.
The author?
The author.
Andrew Scott is Lee, the writer. Yep.
I thought his character was a little too cute at times, but also I recognize that like it's Rian Johnson. He's got to dunk on somebody.
It was a little cute, but it was also like, oh no, yeah, this would happen to your favorite fantasy author from your childhood. Oh, he would be exactly like this. No.
True, yeah.
I mean, the thing I think about Rian Johnson, and he's done this now 3 times, because this is the same way in Knives Out. It's at its worst in Glass Onion, but it happens to a lesser extent here. But he writes his characters, his like right-wing characters, right? Because he's always been very critical of right-wing conservative, characters, right? In Knives Out, we have several characters who are directly talking about Trump and talking about, oh, maybe we just need a strong man in the office, and oh, Marta, your family came here and did things right? Those kind of things, which are things I've heard out of family members' mouths too. But in Glass Onion, they get a little bit more parodic, and in Wake Up Dead Man here, they are way more in the Knives Out range of things. But yes, there's still occasionally a few times where you're like, okay, these are real things that real people think and real things that real people would do, but you are writing them in a pithy soundbite type way that makes me go, okay, well, they would not say it exactly this way. I realize we got to do it this way for comedy's sake and that sort of thing. But like we just recently watched as a group another movie, One Battle After Another, which also depicts some crazy right-wing people in it as well.
Weird movie, and very interesting.
I love that.
They are weird, fucked up people. These right-wing assholes in that movie, but they are depicted as weird and fucked up, but also wielding their power in the way that like fucked up right-wing people do in real life. And whereas here, they're always the punchline. They're always the joke. There's no actual terror. There is no like, you always know that there is not going to really truly be like a downside. Like we are meant to like consistently laugh at Psy and his character, right? Because he does the thing where he's like, and we're gonna take on the world together as father and son. And Judd's like in Star Wars, he's like, yeah, like the rebels. Like, I don't think, and it's like, okay, that's funny. I laughed. Listen, I will, but at the same time, like,
I see what you're saying, and I definitely agree with the sort of like general like direction of your point. I do think that these characters are meant to be like kind of pathetic joke characters. Like the person who's scary is Monsignor Wicks. He's the person who's actually like wielding this sort of very conservative, religious, like right-wing power, and all he's doing with it is terrorizing this like one group of assholes,
Yeah.
Like for his own amusement or whatever. But they gave all their power to him. It sort of felt like, and yeah, you're just a joke now. Like,
yeah,
you're writing a book about this preacher in upstate New York who has 10 people in his congregation. Like,
he's a preacher.
It's not even like a
to con people who believe those sorts of things, and I don't think this is necessarily what the point of the film was. If I'm honest, like I don't think that was something he was going for per se, other than just sort of a general idea. But yeah, they felt cartoony. They felt a little Looney Tunesy.
And when you have a big cast like this, you can't give every single character a full character development arc, right? You do have to reduce, like generally, we're not sitting around here saying, like, again, to use this comparison I used earlier, Orient Express, like we're not sitting around going like, wow, I really wish some of these other characters got more character development, right? Because we understand that it's a cast of 20 people, and the idea is to have a large pool that are potential suspects, right? And you got to give them all a little bit of something to latch onto to give them something. But yeah, you can't give them all quite the depth. All I'm saying is sometimes I wish Johnson could just tweak his jokes ever so slightly, because I think just rewriting the lines that he writes for some of these characters just a bit, just a hair, would make them feel so much more real instead of Twitter one-liners, right? That's all.
Yeah. I think there is a little bit of horror, especially in what's his name, who's always filming.
Oh, Psy, yeah.
Psy, the right-wing politician. Yeah. Like, obviously the theater was laughing every time he appeared and he was filming because it's funny. But also, like, throughout the movie, it does become gradually more and more like, okay, yeah, he's filming this too, huh? Like, it starts off as a funny
and
joke.
And it becomes a plot point.
It becomes a plot point multiple times that he's constantly filming, and, like, yeah, that's kind of a threat. Like, the threat of somebody filming everything you say and just popping some stuff out of context, like...
Yeah,
posting it on YouTube with an AI-generated thumbnail.
Yeah, a clown, but like a clown that can be scary if you think about the implications.
I know about some scary clowns.
We're not talking about horror movies.
I think to also talk about that, I think Psy is also like one of the best examples of this, because early on in the movie, when he is first introduced, he is talking to Father Judd. Is it Father Judd? Is it Priest Judd? What's his official title?
I guess
he's Catholic, so he'd be Father.
Okay, got it. Father Judd.
Also, how the fuck did... Okay, I did a little looking into... Sorry. How the fuck does Monsignor Wicks get the Monsignor title? How?
He's insisting upon it, I think.
It insists upon itself?
It's
I don't
not
know,
an appointment, but you typically... It's not used by just preacher in upstate New York. Like... You have to usually receive, like, certain honors from the church, and then it's, like, socially acceptable to use that.
Yeah. I think it's not said explicitly.
He played by his own rules.
But yeah, I do think it's the kind of thing where maybe if he went up to the big city somewhere they might go like,
give me a piece of paper.
They're gonna be like, well, hang on now, you can't be calling yourself Monsignor around here. But here in upstate New York, where he's just got 10 people, he can all strong arm them into calling him Monsignor.
Everybody, today you'll be learning a new French word. It is Monsignor. That is my title, and if you do not use it, I'll berate you to death.
Also, I just want to get this out of the way. This is the most Protestant Catholic church I've ever seen. I'm just saying, like,
Damn.
no, I'm just saying,
when are
like,
they doing communion?
there's no, this is set in a Catholic church, but it is just barely a Catholic church. You can tell that Rian Johnson was raised as a Protestant evangelical,
and just did a little Googling.
and did some research about Catholic Church, but he was truly not raised that way, because he admitted to this. He was like, well, listen, I think his exact quote that he said was like, well, listen, I used Catholicism because it's way more Gothic. It's way more interesting visually. All the churches I went to when I was a kid, he said, looked more like pottery barns, which is its own different type of horror. As somebody who grew up that way, like I listen.
They did that for
Rian Johnson. I understand. I went through that same life, but
I had a different one.
But all that to say, yes, like nobody, like where's anybody talking about Mary aside from a few they say do Hail Marys, but like other than that, there's not a single mention of Mother Mary, which would be coming up all the time in a real Catholic church. So that did make me laugh a little bit.
We all gotta sing like low-key kind of bad, just for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
No, but nobody
they did have
Lord...
the placards up on the walls with the song numbers and stuff on them.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, man.
It did make me laugh. It's not the end of the world by any means, but it did make me chuckle because I was like, this is a different filter on this.
Saying any of the right things. No one did any. Yeah, okay. Like Catholic confessional's funny. Like we all agree, it's very funny to be like, I kissed a girl behind.
And I liked it.
Like, I kissed a girl and I liked it behind the gym. I do 10 Hail Marys and feel bad about it.
And
like,
don't
it's
do it
funny,
again.
right? But like, I don't know. Nobody was eating any bread. They
Yep,
I mean,
obviously,
they're condensing the service. We're not seeing a whole service in the movie at any point.
I just think there
we are
should have
mostly
been some
seeing
communion wafers.
Wix's.
I think they're funny.
I
Father Judd's delightfully Protestant, in all the funniest ways. It's like, oh, it's the best Catholic you've ever met, a Unitarian who doesn't know it yet. Like,
right.
Holy
you're gonna
shit.
be fine, Father Judd.
He's gonna make it.
I love Unitarians. You guys are the best.
I've never met one, or at least I don't think I have.
You probably have. We live in Boston. This place fucking lousy with them.
Oh, fair, good point.
They're a joy and a delight, and I love all of them.
Did you want to say something, Tiago? Sorry.
I mean, it was just circling back to the whole Psy thing, which is simply just like at the very when he's first introduced, he goes on that long-winded speech about all the angles he tried to break into politics, and it like keeps going and going, and like that's probably like the most. I want to say like I don't want to say ironic because that's not the right word for it, but like the most he leans into his character bit of being the failed politician, but then later on he does develop like a more serious role as like an actual fucking actor in this scheme to murder a guy, either unknowingly or not.
Meaning, in a way, he's kind of like the secondary threat in that film, aside from the murder.
I think I could have used a little more. I think bouncing off of the points we were trying to make at the very beginning, like I could have done with a little more of making these people who are funny a threat still, despite the fact that they are just absolute bozos. Like, they do manage that with Psy.
Yeah.
And by the end of it. But like, these people are funny. They believe crazy shit. But they can still hurt you. And I think that might be something that's missing a little bit from like Rian Johnson's like conservatism bad, which like obviously like great work, Ryan, Right, but I'm sorry, I'm a little too mean to him due to personal reasons.
Damn.
But I think that's what is maybe missing. It's like, yeah, it's funny, I can laugh, but you have to laugh. I prefer to laugh, but you also need to keep in mind this can still hurt you, and I don't think he always quite lands that in a way that is satisfying.
Yeah, the problem is maybe not even necessarily his fault, and this is maybe me being too forgiving towards him, but depressingly, the real world is like a comedy of evil people. Like,
yeah.
And like, so it's really hard, like, when you see a movie like this at times to like go like, oh, right, these people are unfortunately this stupid and evil in real life, and also they have power over 90% of the federal government right now, which makes it a little hard sometimes when you to like separate that in your mind, because you're like, yeah, I'll
having an existential
people.
Crisis while you're watching a movie,
right? But and so it's like, sometimes I almost wish he was a little more critical of it in a way that was a little threading the needle, but at the same time, I don't necessarily know if that is what he's trying to do, because these are supposed to be more lighthearted murder mystery fun time movies anyway. So it's not, like I said, I don't think it's necessarily his fault per se,
this with
right?
my grandma, which I did see Knives Out with my grandma. She fucking loved it, by the way. Because you know what it's about? A woman who's a good nurse.
Yep. A woman who's a good nurse.
She's a good nurse.
Yep.
Shout out to my evil grandma, who was apparently a very good nurse. At least she liked Knives Out.
So yeah, I will say, to circle back around, we haven't really talked about it too much yet. Josh O'Connor as Father Judd.
Great.
I think he's fucking incredible in this.
Oh my god, he was the highlight of the movie for me. Other than scraggly, fucking Daniel Craig, which I love. Daniel Craig can do whatever he wants.
I didn't really like his hair.
You didn't like his hair?
I didn't like his hair.
I don't mind it.
I am of the personal mind that is not his best look, but I appreciate Benoit Blanc just being like, I'm going to try something new today.
Right.
Yeah.
His husband asked him to try growing it out to see if he liked it, and they're just giving it a shot for a bit.
A new hairstyle to befit a well-to-do detective. That's my best. What do you think?
Like, I do like that. I feel like this gave him a little bit more meat on the bone. Gave him a little bit more depth and character just beyond the voice, which I kind of liked this time around for Blanc.
Yeah.
It was like, I was like worried at the very first moment when he started talking and he and Father Judd were having their conversation about belief and religion and how he really feels about it. And there was like a brief moment where I was like, oh no, is Benoit Blanc going to be too Reddit? And then no, thankfully no, it did not end up being that way. But
he's just a gay man from wherever Foghorn Leghorn is from. And that can't have been easy. So I can't say I'm blaming
exactly. Right. So briefly, like when he was like, and I hate, that there's no logic to any of this, that kind of thing. And like for a brief moment, I was like, oh no, am I going to be annoyed at this? But instead, I think the movie quite deftly balances why somebody might believe in God and why also somebody might not as well. Mm-hmm. And balances what good could come of religion. And also then, of course, as Benoit Blanc puts, all the homophobia and sexism and all the horrible things that have been wrought in the name, and so I thought that was like a nice balance throughout the whole film, that it never felt I don't know. I don't know how to put it. I'm trying to be more eloquent than just saying being too Reddit about it, Reddit atheist or whatever about it. But
Yeah.
you know,
But like
giving
it
really
it
solid
conjures
criticisms
such a
of the
vivid
church.
Image.
Sorry.
It conjures such a vivid image of the guy you're talking about.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think Josh O'Connor is really good in this, and really just brings that like humanity you need out of the main character, who is like being supported by Blanc, as you know, that has clearly like become the mode that these movies work in, is that Blanc attaches himself to the innocent person who's being subjected to all this, and is trying to help them out and solve the case. And I think him and Marta in Knives Out worked really, really well. Him and Janelle Monáe's character, whose name I'm now forgetting.
No, you'll totally get it, Bucky. But Bucko? Bucko?
Bucky's.
Sure.
Sorry, Bucky? I just called you Bucky. Sorry, Bucky.
It didn't work quite as well for me there. Here again, once again, it worked. I thought it worked excellently. Yeah, I don't know. It's just good stuff. They bounce off each other really, really well.
I mean, I think it's because there is a lot more, like, I don't know if I want to call it animosity, but like at some point in the film, Father Judd is like, I don't want to help you investigate anymore. I should be a fucking priest. This is what I came here for. And they have their third act breakup. And I was a little like confused about it when it happened, because I was just like, wait, why are you could still be a priest and also not get arrested for murder, brother. Can lock in.
No, not brother, father.
Father, sorry. But I still like I think that those are two characters that I could see butting heads. Like, they would, of course, disagree when it came to certain matters. I think one of the best scenes in the movie is Father Judd taking that phone call of, like, someone who sincerely wanted to, like, talk to somebody about something. And, like, you could see the impatience and, like, confusion in Benoit Blanc about, like, oh, this doesn't fucking matter right now. Meanwhile, this is, like, all that matters to Judd.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked that. That was like, oh, this is sweet.
That scene is, like, the hinge point of the whole movie, right?
Yeah.
I think that if that scene didn't work, it would make a lot of the other rest of the film feel very flat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have to have Father Judd as, like, a good man. And we have to, we have to know. We have to see it. And know, like...
He has to make the decision, to take time away from the murder case to help somebody and listen to somebody.
The murder
and
case
Bridget
where
Everett
he is the suspect, and the only person who's hurt by him taking this extra time is himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bridget Everett just, oh my God, she knocks it out of the park. She's only in the movie basically as voice over, essentially. You see her face for like one shot, but like...
Am I supposed to know who Bridget Everett is?
She was the lady on the phone.
Well, I know she was the lady on the phone, but what else has she been?
I don't know if you know. I mean, she's also been she's a comedian and singer. Generally, I think is kind of mostly what she's known for.
I just don't know any famous people. I'm so bad at this.
I know some famous people, but that's because Ben knows these famous people.
If you weren't in the Lord of the
Shaking
Rings
your hand,
theatrical
Tiago.
release, I don't know who the fuck you are. Exceptions can be made for people who played characters on Star Trek: The Next Generation for reasons that are beyond my comprehension.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. What about Deep Space Nine?
I did not watch Deep Space Nine as a little child with my family. I don't know what to tell you.
It's like my favorite one, though.
Well, you can take that up with my parents.
All right, Rose, soul shift back into your teenage self and go watch all of Deep Space Nine and then come back.
I don't have time for that right now.
You totally have time if you soul shift.
I don't have time to learn.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry.
It's Christmas season. I've got shit to do. I just found out I gotta work some overtime that I was not expecting I was gonna have to work. Everything's fucked.
I'll learn how to group soul shift so that we can all become our younger selves, cheat at the lottery, and watch Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
Let's finish
Promise.
the podcast first.
I'm in.
Well, I guess we got to talk about Monsignor Wicks,
Oh,
Josh Brolin.
Hell yeah.
He's
great hair.
insane.
Great
He's
hair.
insane in this.
This is the best.
Terrifying.
This is the best Josh Brolin has ever looked. I'm jealous. I want this dude's mane. I wanna look like this dude when I grow
He did have
up.
quite the hair.
He looked like a fucking like what I think a mad preacher would look like.
He was definitely.
You feel like it's got to be
way
part
too
of the
Protestant.
costume.
Like way too Protestant evangelical.
Yeah.
Like the whole like, and like even.
I don't think I've never seen like none of the priests that I ever saw growing up ever had any facial hair.
I was raised evangelist, so I'm pretty much out of this conversation because as far as I'm concerned, like looking at my childhood experience at church and looking at other people's experience of church, I don't have the same one.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Catholic thing is very different, but yeah, I don't remember many of them having facial hair, if any at all.
Well, counterpoint, he had a sick beard.
I just think he was just very, like, Protestant coded, and I think even Father Judd was to a certain extent, like, because this is a huge thing in certain circles of Protestantism and evangelism, is like, oh, I used to be bad. I used to drink.
Oh,
I used
yeah.
to do drugs.
I've heard so many youth pastors say this over the years. You know, this.
I've said it to younger kids.
Yeah, I was bad. You know, even Father Judd's stories I found a little more, you know, palatable. Like I did something horrible, and now I've found Jesus in the church. You know, like okay,
right.
That makes sense.
Oh, I just hit my mic. That hopefully didn't come through.
Ben, make that a sample.
Sample that. But like Monsignor Wicks, it's like, oh, I used to drink, I used to fornicate, my mother was a whore, you know, like.
He does.
Sure, buddy. Like, okay.
Okay.
He does,
it's just less of that sort of Catholic zeitgeist. And it's much more like a Protestantism kind of feel, to me anyways.
Right.
As someone who's spent very little time in Protestant church and is only really interested in it in that it's destroyed the United States of America pretty much from the start.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of admit that it was really in there from the start, so it's not like we could have saved it, but still.
I will cut you out like a cancer.
There's nothing left. It's the Puritans all the way down.
Oh man.
His antagonistic role, he's a dick to literally everybody, even his own son, Sai. Even when he goes like, now time to be a good dad, how do I plan to do it? Fuck this church and fuck the ground it was built on.
Right.
I like... I mean, the thing about Monster in New York is that he's a madman, and I could see how he could become a very charismatic leader. And he even has, like, a technique to keep his, like, quote-unquote disciples strong to him, like, the bond strong to his disciples by isolating and destroying the relationship with literally any outsider. Cult shit,
cult,
man.
Yeah. That's just a cult, baby.
It's just funny that Sai was making AI generated thumbnails and fucking submitting that shit to YouTube. That was the worst part. One of the fucking YouTube titles was like putting the god in Dogecoin, and I'm like, Ryan, you can't just say Dogecoin. You can't type those words out.
There
don't have
are
permission to
Putting
say
the god
that.
in Doge, yeah.
There are some people who are still out there doing that, but
no, I know, but like, maybe when this film was being made, Dogecoin was still up and rising, but I feel like
no, definitely not.
I feel like it's a little too late for Dogecoin. I saw that and went, wait, really? Maybe Sai's trying to bring it back. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Feels like he's trying to bring a lot of things back.
He's trying to bring a lot of
real quick.
You gotta go. What?
Yeah, keep
Googling.
going.
Oh,
Rose is
Google.
Googling
Got it. I
something.
thought you were getting up. I don't know. I think the movie rocks. I think at a certain point I knew who the killer was, but then was like, but how did she fucking do it? That's the like.
Right.
I feel like the culmination of the mystery changes from like the other two is trying to figure out who is the murderer, whereas in this one I was pretty obvious like who the murderer was. It's how did they do it? It is the how
Right,
that intrigues me.
One Dogecoin seems to be currently worth 0.14 USD.
Jesus
Yikes.
Christ.
That's bad.
That's
if you were
pretty-
wondering,
Wow.
listeners.
Good fucking
Yeah.
riddance.
Jesus.
So
Anyways,
yes,
carry
Tiago,
on.
you were referencing Glenn Close, the one and only Glenn Close as Martha.
I mean, I feel like pretty early
who-
on I was like,
she's-
it's her, right?
Pretty good, I think, in this.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
great. I definitely was like, it's probably her, but I must know why.
Yeah.
Right. Also, wild that this movie shows you Grace Wicks punching young Martha, beating her up
Oh my
in
god.
the flashback,
Th-
and shows you this, and you're like, oh my god, she just slapped and punched a child. Holy
She's
shit.
literally
And then-
punching her, like
Yeah.
fucking like
Decking her in the face. And
Yeah.
by the end of the movie, then you go, well, you know what? Actually, she kind of had it coming.
You know, what
It's
if the
kinda-
kids' vibes suck really?
Everyone should
What if the child
what if
just
the
sucks
child's
shit?
vibes are off?
what if everyone should go watch Blue Gales of Bungle. Great anime, fantastic stuff.
This is an incredible pull. Most people are not going to understand.
Hey, my true fucking warriors out there, they'll know.
Yeah, they'll understand the slap.
I don't know how to segue into another bit in an organic manner, so I'm going to think about unorganic things such as plastic and metal and stone, which was
Acid.
the material of the crypt that this guy was fucking in, and acid, which was used. I did not expect acid to come into play, or poison for
Right.
that matter.
I mean, I
Yeah,
feel
we
like
got all the
Poison's-
classics here.
Poison's pretty on brand for a Knives Out TM mystery.
I hear you, but like the thing that kind of confused me was the fact that like, well, I guess I shouldn't have trusted the autopsy report because it was the doctor was fucking in on it. That the weaselist. Do you know what I'm trying to say here?
I mean,
Weaseliest?
again,
Huh?
he was
Weaseliest?
stabbed,
Yeah,
so
he didn't
perhaps
do
they
the
didn't do a
autopsy
tox report.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that like, I don't know, man. I'd do it just to be. Listen, man. If a dude dies in a closet for no reason, I'm checking everything.
I'm checking everything.
Sure.
I just
yeah.
to
people,
double
yeah,
check.
people aren't gonna just do like toxicology reports on people if they don't suspect they have been poisoned.
That's fair. I just think that if a dude died in like a literal miracle, I would like to cross off my fucking T's and dot my I's. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That being
Yeah,
said,
so-
Jeremy Renner.
There's like a trillion tests.
How you don't know that? You do actually know that.
There's a
I
lot.
work in healthcare.
You do know that.
Wow.
I immediately.
Tiago doesn't believe women.
I walked it back immediately.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna cause an echo.
I just thought I'd defend my wife for a little bit here.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Why point the sword at me, Ben?
You know what? Now's a great time to talk about how underfunded our morgues and the like investigation teams are for like doing
Yeah.
these sort of things. Often stuff gets left behind because there's not enough staff, not enough funding, not enough time to properly investigate these bodies and actually give accurate reports. I don't have a solution for that. That's just a thing I know about.
Rose, I had no idea where the fuck you were gonna go when you started that sentence, and I'm amazed
I was
at
trying
that.
to segue.
No, I appreciate
you.
it. Hey,
You?
big daps, Rose.
Aw.
Thanks, man. I really like Jeremy Renner's character. He plays the accomplice, the drunk accomplice who's a shithead because his wife
The
left
doctor
him.
Who's so upset that his wife left him.
I honestly, I would have left him too. Dude kind of sucked.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
weirdly
sort of
enough, I
left-
actually
wondering why. Why did she leave? We don't find out.
Yeah.
He sucks.
I mean, yeah. Weirdly enough, I didn't actually vibe that much with Jeremy Renner's performance in this. I thought he was just fine in this.
He did have to spend most of the movie basically like he's a drunk character.
Yeah.
Right.
So just kind of there trying not to cause a scene.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I would have liked it if he was like more of a worm. Like, I think he did well. Like, I got the character. It made sense. Everything checked out for me. I was perfectly happy. But like, maybe if he was just like more pathetic, I don't know. Maybe that could have sold it a little better.
Well, I thought the reveal in which that like he like betrays who I think is the most innocent man in the movie, Thomas Hayden Church. I think that is the moment where it's like, oh, we get to see how shitty he is. He fucking kills a man on the spot.
That's the most juice he gets.
Yeah.
And that maneuver that he does is so clean. It's like, damn, you should have been an assassin in another life.
Well, he's a doctor. He knew what he was doing.
He's a doctor.
He just fucking whips that scythe right out of his the holster and just whoosh, clean right into his chest. That's it.
And
He
you
was
know
crazy.
he was drunk.
Yeah, true. True.
Yeah. So,
I thought that did enough. That kind of did enough for me to like establish him as a weaseled character. But I can totally see how like, yeah, most of the time in the movie he's literally just kind of there and not really delivering a lot other than like mad that my fucking bitch wife left me or whatever. That's what his whole character was until not even until
he wasn't like he didn't like I mean he was upset, but he was still in love with her.
Yeah, he does this to get her back. Oh, if I'm rich.
Yeah, he's doing all this to get back with her. Like I don't necessarily think he is upset that she left, but he's not like, oh, that horrible bitch. He's like, I want her back, please.
Did he not?
Kids.
I feel he was vindictive at some point, but also my memory is hazy because we watched this a couple of weeks ago. So I believe
he was drunk, so
he does. He is upset about it, and he is vindictive about it, but very, very briefly.
Maybe that's his whole character. Very, very briefly. Very, very briefly, he was a Weasley underhanded minion. Very, very briefly,
he wants that woman back.
He got a money and was a millionaire, and then very, very briefly, he was alive. And then he died. Was that a good point? Was that nice and poignant? Could you write that down? Was that good?
Sure. Yeah, we'll put that in your quote book.
Thanks, man. I actually feel a lot less good about it now that I went back to check. So actually erase all of that, cut this from the audio, and let's pretend it never happened.
Okay.
But keep it on.
Kaylee Spaney is the cellist. I most recently saw her in Alien Romulus.
I've never seen her. Wait, have I seen her?
She's the main character in Alien Romulus.
Together, Tiago.
She's the main girl.
I forgot. I didn't know that. Damn, why wasn't she better?
Here's the thing. My only criticism of this is, I don't know. I think it would have been nice to cast somebody else in the role of a disabled cellist. Maybe somebody who was actually in that position. That's not like a huge critique, but just like I'd put that note in the casting section there just to say that. But yeah, she's not given a ton to do. She does get one really good line, which is when Martha screams when she gets up to go get a cigarette, and she's like, "Oh my God, it's a miracle!" And she just looks at her and she's like, "Martha, I can still walk. It just really hurts."
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
It's like okay, that's pretty good. That's fine. That's a good.
You know, to be fair, it's because Alien Romulus, the only character I really cared about was the android. Andy. I can't. Yeah, Andy. I can't believe that they're the same.
Remember, because it's Andy the android. That movie had the most amazing production design of any sci-fi film in the last like 5 or 6 years. But it just did some things that pissed me off.
I'm a Romulus fan.
But Andy's amazing.
But I recognize that not everyone in here likes Romulus, so I'm okay with that.
I liked the first half of that movie a lot.
I liked it before they AI resurrected a dead man. That's
the part I hate.
I liked the second half of that movie almost not at all.
I like the second half of the movie, but that's because I like it. I put my hands up in the air and I go wee, because I'm enjoying.
I was no longer going wee. I was going wee in the first half.
Yeah, Rose put her hands down slowly during
first
in the
20
middle.
minutes is so fucking good in that movie.
So much fun.
It's so fucking good. Anyway,
that's a different movie. That's a different movie. I'm just kind of amazed
this is why we're
that
not allowed to talk about like movies most of the time.
It's because we'll go into another movie that we do like or that we do hate.
I will just go through the IMDb page of a movie and just go like, oh, this person worked on this. This person worked on this. I will just do that if you let me.
This is true.
I have to be held back.
I just think the biggest disappointment in her character is that I feel like she was given almost nothing. Like she was, I want to say, financially manipulated into paying for essentially the church, but all the other members of the church was like a weird fanatic of Monsignor Wicks, whereas she was like kind of, I want to say, not ambivalent, but she, like, her faith was a lot more like easily broken when she realized
she was trying to pay her way into a miracle.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
I
mean, I appreciate that.
Again, also way more Protestant, not very Catholic
right.
at all.
That is pretty Protestant.
Not a very
that
Catholic
I will commit. It's also an evangelist thing. If you've got the deepest wallet, you're
I just feel like I'm
planting your
somehow
seed.
Defending the Catholic Church here, and I hate having to do that.
literally, no one's asking you to pick
it
up that
wouldn't have
sword.
happened in the Catholic Church because they don't think that stuff happens to women.
Oh. Rose
I would have to do
knows.
some research about that.
You can put down the blade. You don't have to. You don't have to hold this. It's fine. We can let it go.
I mean, I'm gonna drop it again really loudly any minute here.
Oh,
Right.
true. We're all gonna hear it.
I do like that. Like her final note for the cellist for Simone is that yeah, sometimes you don't get your miracle, right? Is that like sometimes you just have a disability and that's okay, and you're not less of a person
just has chronic
for that,
pain,
right?
and who knows where it's coming from.
Yeah.
You put on some KT tape and you get on with your life.
Right. So I did kind of appreciate that was like kind of the final message there. There was not like a secret third thing that could happen to her to improve her life, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is just sometimes you have to live with a disability, and that's no good. It's not fun, but
it's
especially
life.
Chronic pain. That's
yeah, chronic pain is awful. But yeah,
I can't even imagine.
But yes, I appreciated that there was not like, oh, this doctor figured something out, or this other thing happened instead, or whatever. So that was kind of nice.
They figured it out. It's like, no, there's a good chance she might get hooked on painkillers or something.
That's what they call
that makes it hard to play the cello.
She can play that cello.
Yeah.
That's the what is it, the House of the Fall of the House of Usher. That's a whole different series.
I also really liked that we got Jeffrey Wright.
Killer
as the one bishop who shows up at the very, very start and the very end.
Oh yeah.
And he's great. I love Jeffrey Wright. Anytime he shows up, he's fucking awesome. I love his monologue from.
He's such a realist Catholic priest.
Yeah.
Cardinal. He's a cardinal in this movie.
Yeah, I love that he I love his monologue in the French Dispatch as his character Roebuck Wright, where he just talks about what it's like traveling and being alone while you're traveling, and being a food reviewer and that kind of stuff. Just, I don't know. That's such a good, being a journalist, like, it's just such a good monologue in that movie, and maybe the best part of that entire movie. So it was nice to see him show up here and get to say bitch.
Yeah.
as a bishop who gets be like, listen, all right.
Yeah, I think
we all actually really hate the guy you punched. So we're all kind of glad you did it, but we still got to reprimand you.
I think the foul-mouthed priest is one of like a fantastic like character archetype, like the guy who like sits down, pops out a cigarette, and be like, "Can you not fucking suck for a second?" That is fantastic, and like he literally handled it every time he showed up. It was fantastic. It was great.
Yeah, there wasn't too much. I think if they did it too much, it would have been like annoying. But
Yeah.
It was just the right, like, a little, like, sprinkle on top of, like, haha, yeah. That's the guy.
That's my man.
There, I also just want to call out here that Steve Yedlin, the cinematographer, he shot the hell out of this thing.
Yeah.
I think this might be the best looking one he's done yet. And I again, admittedly, I'm a fan of Steve Yedlin's work. I love the work that he did on Last Jedi. I think that movie's gorgeous. I love the stuff that he did on Knives Out. I think, and like, he's really, really good at filming digital movies, because 90% of the stuff that he's done is on digital cameras, but making it feel soft and giving it the grain that film has, to give you that kind of warmth. So there's just some gorgeous stuff. Like they find that angle in the forest where the trees have a bit of a break in them, so it looks like a fucking cathedral in the forest. I don't know if that's digital or if that's real, but it looks amazing. Some of the rain stuff in this is really good too. And I realize it's like a one perfect shot type of maneuver, but the bit with the flashbacks, with Grace coming in through the church with the red, like, moon behind her, just really fun stuff. And again with the flashbacks, every single flashback is shot as if they pressed the camera up close against stained glass. Mm-hmm. So anytime there's a flashback, they'll get a little bit of green or a little bit of red in the corners. It's really neat.
I like that Grace flashback too, because we get two versions of it. Mm-hmm. Which I did. When we saw the second one, I was looking, and it does look a little different on the second time around. Which, now you have the context of what had happened to her and why she's doing this.
The harlot horror side of it, and then the sympathetic side of it.
The side of it where it's like, oh my god, look what you did.
That's awful.
This poor innocent woman.
Dude, justice for Grace.
I mean, she gets the church named after her eventually.
Oh yeah, that's not good enough.
She would not have.
I know that would have not.
She wanted the club named after her.
Yeah, exactly.
She should be at the club.
She should be at the club.
Oh man, yeah.
None of this would have happened if they'd just let her go be at the club.
True.
The actress who plays her obviously really doesn't get any lines or anything like that, but real good expressive face, at least for those flashbacks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a really pretty movie. I think it's way more tightly edited than Glass Onion, so I like that. Even though this is like a 2 hour and 20-minute movie, I still felt like this really moves. And I enjoyed just like coming back the second time, because I did watch this movie a second time. I
came up to me on Saturday and went, I think I'm gonna go see the movie again.
Yep. Hell yeah.
And I was like, okay, have fun, as I was playing some stupid fucking community made map on Left 4 Dead.
I mean, honestly, based though, I'm glad you're playing Left 4 Dead.
Nice.
So yeah, so I just ran out again and saw it again in theaters a second time, because I was like, well, I'm probably this is gonna be on Netflix for the rest of its life, so I might as well. And being able to see it the second time, one thing I was mildly annoyed about in Glass Onion is they showed some shots where they showed them as people thought they happened, mm-hmm. right? And not as they actually did. And then they eventually show you the scene again, but now as it really happened, with glasses being switched and, poison being put in the glass and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Here, none of that happens, which I did really appreciate. That does not happen. Everything is always shown to you, aside from those flashbacks, which we described, which were being told by a person. Everything that you see is always aligned, right?
You're just getting more context as the movie goes on.
So I did appreciate, like, when Judd's writing out his letter at the start, there's the one moment where, as he's writing his letter, and after the murder, he decides to hide the flask, right? Because he wants to hide that Wicks has still been drinking to protect Samson.
Mm-hmm.
At that exact moment, right before he hides the flask, which again, you do not see that because he omits that in his telling. So you just don't see it. But you hear it happen. And then he looks up from writing the letter. And later we know that he is looking across the living room to Blanc sitting in front of the fire.
Oh, yeah.
But at the time, we are just seeing Judd look up and he's looking at, and there's a fire reflecting in his face. We see the glow and you see him thinking and then go back to writing. And now the second time through, you're like, oh my God, he's omitting the part about him hiding the flask, right? And that is then when we get to that moment later in the movie, when Blanc gets up and goes, why'd you do it? Why'd you admit this? You admitted something here. And I can tell. It like works both the first time and the second time, which I really, really appreciated, which is something that's so hard to do with these types of movies, because sometimes the second time through you go, oh, well, now I know everything and nothing's, there's no surprises anymore. Instead, I got to enjoy, oh, now I get to see it from the other perspective and it still works. Right. So I was really pleased by that this time, all those parts like fit together very nicely.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Awesome rewatch. I gotta go see it again, but I don't know if I'll be able to see it in theaters. You'll be able to see it on Netflix.
I was gonna say, by the time this comes out, we will have already be watching it again. Because I think it's gonna be our next movie night movie for the folks in our group of friends who have not seen it yet. So.
Oh, dead ass.
So you'll get to see it again then.
You have to start it a little earlier.
I'll watch it again. I like it.
Me.
Yep. Well, hey. I think that's a lot of my big notes that I had written down for what I wanted to talk about in this. Did anybody else have any big things that they wanted to hit here? For Wake Up Dead Man?
I was just really very positive on it in general. I do, looking back, my main critique is, this is a little too Protestant, actually. And there are a couple things, again, like similar to stuff we touched on, where I was like, it's a little too obvious, like a little too twee, perhaps. Like when
the Rian Johnson curse.
Yeah, like when what's her name comes up, and she's like, I've got something to say. She's come to confess, and Father Jetta's like, what should I do? And it's like, buddy, you know what you should do. Like, Benoit Blanc doesn't have to, and Benoit Blanc is like, take her confession. And I'm like, he didn't need to say that. That was like the one thing that like pulled me out of it for a second. I was like, Netflix.
Yeah.
I know what he needs to do. He knows what he needs to do. Don't tell me with words. Let me know.
Sure. Yep.
True. God, yeah, that makes sense. I can see it now.
That was like, at the time, I'm sure there's more things, but like coming out of the movie, that was the one thing where I was like, come on. Don't do that.
I agree.
But I'm really just very positive on it overall.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a good time, and they have already said that Rian Johnson has already said he's doing something else next. He's doing some other original idea next. But he said, as long as Daniel Craig wants to keep doing these, he's willing to keep doing them. So, hey, obviously Daniel Craig's getting a little older, but we could do another 2 or 3 of these yet, I think.
Yeah.
It takes 3 years to make a movie, roughly. So, we can get a couple more of these in here before
we can age
he's
along.
Retiring.
We can age alongside Benoit Blanc.
This is an age along.
An age.
Exactly.
An age.
Yes.
You know what? Hire me. I'll be Benoit Blanc. I'll do it.
Actually, he's a little younger
Jr.
than I thought. He's 57. So
Yeah,
we got plenty of time.
He's not that.
Oh yeah.
I think he's just looking older in this movie was fooling me a little bit.
It's the hair. It's the hair.
I'm a notable Daniel Craig enjoyer, if I'm honest. So.
I like Daniel Craig. I can see why you wouldn't like this hairstyle, but I think it's all right.
His outfits, though, are
dude. Oh my god! He always does kind of look like a Southern Baptist, which is really funny. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but my man always out here looking like it. And by God, I will survive.
I hope if we get another one that we can see his husband again.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant. Dude, I love Hugh Grant.
At the very end, when he's like, "Do you want to stay?" and he's like, "Nope."
Nope.
I do appreciate that. It would have been so easy to
you want to stay for mass?
Oh, yeah, well, he'll stay just for the introductory, message or something like that. But nope, he's like, nope, I'm leaving.
No,
Nothing I would rather do less.
for this. I gotta go. My husband and I have brunch. Goodbye.
Yep.
If I stay here, I will burst into flames.
I low-key thought he should have stayed because I was like, damn, that's your boy, though. Like, that's your boy. Like, fucking back up your boy.
I did like the kind of the father and son vibes that we had going on a little bit.
Yeah.
More in a symbolic sense than anything else, but it was fun.
Just
had a good time.
Father John's one of my favorite characters. His backstory and his character is amazing, and I love that shit.
Yeah, I think. Oh, the only other thing I just thought of that we didn't really talk about is John Dixon Carr, who we have not tackled yet, but is on our syllabus for books to read, comes up in the plot of this movie because it's part of the book, mystery book reading list, which includes some Agatha Christie as well and all that, Edgar Allan Poe, Murders in the Rue Morgue, all that good stuff. But yeah, they do bring up John Dixon Carr, and I was like, damn it, I originally wanted to try to fit a John Dixon Carr book in last month in our schedule, and it just didn't work out. And I was like, I really wish I'd made it work now because it would have been perfect timing because they bring him up in the movie.
You couldn't have known.
We got the Father Brown.
Yep. We did get the Father Brown reference.
Yeah.
What's he say? How now, Father Brown, or something like that?
Yeah, Father Brown.
Yeah, no, it's good. So yeah, don't worry. We'll get to some John Dixon Carr. So if any listeners have not read any Carr before, get ready. We'll do that eventually here. That'll be on the list.
Hell yeah.
So, all right. Well, any last thoughts before I wrap this up here?
Thomas Hayden Church, you're my favorite. I love you.
Everyone just shot for all the times that Ben asked us any last thoughts.
And
I know, yeah.
Yeah, take a shot.
Just this episode.
Okay, well that's like 2 shots then. That's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
That's fine. That's normal. You know what? We're very responsible here at Updated Autopsy Report. You can have the littlest shots as a treat.
I'm looking around. Are we responsible?
I'm very responsible. Drink water.
Okay.
All right.
Couldn't be me.
I'm great at
drinking. I will say, at the very end, pretty good song drop for the credits with Tom Waits.
Oh yeah, that was pretty solid.
Yep. So, but yeah, if you haven't yet, if you got through this whole podcast and haven't seen the movie, well, damn, you should really go see that movie. Pretty good. But I think that'll do it for us this week, folks. You can keep up via our website, updatedautopsy.report, which has links to everything we do and all of our social media accounts. We also, as always, have a YouTube channel, which features our Let's Plays and other fun videos at youtube.com/@Yotsuben. We had some stuff go up on there. I think we talked about our Demon School video went up on there. We talked about that last time, maybe. So that's on there. You want to check that out. So yeah, every once in a while, I'll try to put a little extra something up on there. So that was kind of fun. You can follow me on all social media at Yotsuben. Dessy, where can people find you?
Blue Sky at Dessy for the robots.
And Tiago.
You can find me at It's Tiago Time on Blue Sky.
And Rose.
You can find me at Rose Nonsense on Blue Sky and various other social media websites, but mostly Blue Sky, and you can also find me caroling outside your house.
Oh.
Happy holidays, everybody. I am outside your house and I am singing.
Oh.
Wow.
Right now.
Oh.
Get wassail or I
outside.
won't leave.
Oh, the wassailing thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is some old school European style caroling. I want alcohol and I'm going to keep singing until you give it to me, and then I'll go away. Merry Christmas.
Oh man. That sounds like a real good shakedown, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope you'll rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. We're a 100-episode show now, so I think we deserve a review if you haven't given us one before. Next time, we will, hopefully, if everything works out, have a little holiday bonus in the feed related to Ace Attorney music. So keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, we'll see you in the new year.
Yeah.
Have a good time, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Yeah, jingle bells. If I must. The kids always want it.